EdTech Showcase. You are in the session for empowering our academic community, elevating AI literacy, and integrating GAI policies into the syllabi. Our presenters this morning are Shaquan Wayne, who is the Vice President for Academic Affairs and Provost of Academic Affairs at Hostos Community College. And we have Andrea Fabrizio, who is the Associate Dean of Academic Affairs at the Hostos Community College. Welcome, our speakers.
Good morning. Thank you for coming. So here I want to share with you like our framework to adopt generative AI into our curriculum. And we also have a faculty put together a task force. They work with academic affairs to come up with a syllabus template to guide faculty if they want to use, or if they want to decide to restrictly use, or no, you don't use it at all. So we have this guidance provided for faculty using the syllabus.
So we just want to start off with a quick small discussion, right? So as a faculty member, or whatever role you're in, how do you use ChatGPT to enhance teaching, research, and service? So just quickly, anybody want to volunteer how they use ChatGPT or AI to enhance anything?
Brainstorm.
Get off the blank page. Sure. Anything else?
So you can just for professional development.
Oh, I use it to come up with different discussion questions and scenarios.
So those are great examples of how AI can be a tool. So we did this semester, our Center for Teaching and Learning conducted a survey, right? Because we want to make sure that our Center for Teaching and Learning is meeting the needs of our faculty and what they want for professional development. So we surveyed our faculty to ask, what is it that you need? What kind of professional development, what kind of topics are you interested in? We had great participation in the survey. 121 faculty from across disciplines and departments at the college responded. And out of those, there were 83 people who answered the question of what areas of PD would you like to have more knowledge about? And out of the 83 who answered that question, 65 said AI. Right? So it's clearly a need that our faculty have. They want to learn more about AI and how to use it. Wanted to share this slide with you. This is the sampling of the responses to the survey, which I think really showed a nice sort of range of how people are feeling about AI and its use on campus. So the first one, it will be the end of higher education as we know it. So that was one response. Second, trying to figure out how to use AI to enhance student learning. Currently suspect students who are using it are not learning what they are supposed to be. And also have to figure out how the ethics with respect to reporting when AI is being used. So that's moving away from it's the end of the world, but we need to, we need to learn about it. Need to understand more effectively the relevance and significance. Another response that the college and faculty will act in a reactionary manner and ban it instead of preparing students to use it well and ethically. And then many concerns. We need to have more conversations about how students are already using AI to write assignments for them. There may be uses for AI in brainstorming, outlining, and editing, but students are using the tools already to write for them whole cloth and need guidance and strategies for how to address this in the classroom. And finally, I think class will be more discussion-based and critical thinking skills we stress more, innovative pedagogies will develop. So I just thought this was a nice range from starting with the end of everything to we have questions to it's opportunity. Right, so it really shows that our faculty are really seeing the range of what AI is going to offer us.
Well, that's me.
That's you guys.
So yeah, please, please. Yes, yeah, come on in. So it sounds like many of you already have experience of using ChatGPT, it's a chat box, and just brief summary about what ChatGPT can help us. It can help us answer questions, search information, summarize information. You can fit it an article, a links. It can help you draft document. If you let the tool know your intention, it can help you code, debug, analyze text, analyze data, visualize data, generate images, and also help you to provide your students a tool to tutor themselves. I'll show you how. And also it can translate language and can serve as a simulated text-based games. Now, the ChatGPT tools, many technologies, many tools already or platform adopt ChatGPT, the chatbots into the design of the tool. So they integrated chatbots into the tools. So for example, if you're interested in learning which tools can help you to generate images, you can click on this category. It's called DALL-E. Click on that, it will give you a lot of tool that can help you generate images. If you're interested in having ChatGPT to help you write article, you can click on writing. There are lots of tools you can use to help you write, including academic writing tools, productivity research for learning, education, and lifestyle. So this is just something I want to share with you. It's a framework to adopt technology in the classrooms. So this is called cognitive tools. Cognitive tools. It means how do you use technology in the classroom and create like a student-centered learning environment to have students use technologies to solve problems, to extend their cognitive processing. For example, Excel is a great tool to serve as a cognitive tool because you can have students to use spreadsheet to log data that they found from a public database. For example, water quality data. They can use spreadsheet to log the data, use pivot table to analyze the data and create a chart to see the correlation between different factors. So that's an example of using spreadsheet as a cognitive tool. Now, so our framework is to use generative AI as a cognitive tool. It's not just you using ChatGPT to help yourself. How can you guide the student to use ChatGPT to help them, support them to extend their cognitive processing? That is the point of, that is the real integration of technology in the classrooms. Oh, I'm sorry, one more thing. So that's why pedagogical practice is extremely important.
So connecting to pedagogical practices, right now, questions that keeps coming up. So what about our assignments, right? We're using AI. What are we doing about the assignments we use? How do we engage our students? How do we know what they've learned, right? If they're using AI to generate the answers to the assignments, how do we know what they're actually learning? And how do we make our assignments meaningful, right? Because we don't want to just give assignments for the sake of giving assignments, right? We want to give assignments where students can engage and show us that they've really mastered material and engaged with the material, you know, in a way that has an impact. So different ways of engaging students, applications for AI, right? The assignment types that we select, right, to develop essential learning outcomes. I mean, the assignment of choose a topic, right, and just find sources and explore the topic probably wasn't the best assignment like 5 years ago, right? And it's now in the age of AI, isn't it just not going to work, right? We can't just send students out to pick a topic and explore because it's so easy to generate something that's manufactured by AI. So we really need to measure complex competencies, right? Have students evaluate and present on the work they're doing. Performances or something that is a genuine sort of thing they can produce. Record their presentation, right? Record themselves presenting their presentation to show that they've mastered their PowerPoint or not just generated their PowerPoints, right? And of course, real-time interaction and in-class activities. That's authentic learning opportunities. When we put our students in groups, so we have them in front of us when they're working together, when they're working on a group assignment, they each have a piece to contribute to. These are assignments that can give those authentic learning opportunities and that are also project-based. So what do students need to know about AI, right? Because I know this year there's been a lot of discussion of what we need to know, right? As the faculty, as the staff, right? How we need to learn this tool, but our students need to learn about it too. Otherwise, they won't be able to use it as an effective tool, right? We're discovering the way that AI can be a tool, and for students it is as well. So are our students prepared to use AI in ways that will help them and promote their learning, right? Do you feel right now, just by show of hands, that our students know what they need to know to use AI effectively? Right, okay. Right, so they need AI literacy. So this is the question, right? What AI literacy skills do students? How do we prepare them to be able to use AI as an effective tool? And again, do you think students are prepared to use AI in the most productive and ethical way? This moment in time, do you think our students are ready for that? So they need support with this.
Okay, so we're going to share with you a couple of examples, and because I'm sure you went to a lot of like conferences about generative AI and heard a lot of like high level theoretical, justification. But we actually want to show you some prompts so that you can use in the classrooms. Not you, your students can use it in the classroom. So for example, how do we train students to write effective prompts? So train the students, help them understand that when they use ChatGPT, they should try to provide, if they want a very specific answer or response, they should provide a context, assign ChatGPT a role. For example, you are an experienced wildlife biologist specializing in trees. Based on the recent weather patterns in the USA, predict the best fall foliage season for New England and explain it to fifth graders. It will give you very specific information and help you translate the information into simplify this information as if you're explaining this difficult, complicated information to a fifth graders. Another one is train the students when you come up with a prompt, be specific. Give ChatGPT a very clear text. For example, if you're just saying, write me a blog post, or if you say, write me a 6-paragraph first-person blog post designed for an audience of nature lovers. That includes a funny story, ends with a question, share that I enjoy hiking and mention the Appalachian Trail. This would generate two very different responses from ChatGPT, right? And then you can also train your students, start with the headline, and then think about the summaries. Ask ChatGPT to help you come up with a summary, but of course you have to fit ChatGPT the main points of your articles, and then break the whole articles into like little tasks, right? So that's another example. So we include some references in this slide. So if you want the slide, you can just email us. We'll share with you the slide so you can access to all those resources. This is a great link, provide 57 different kind of ChatGPT prompts for teachers that they can use it in the classrooms. Of course, this is about how you have students who use ChatGPT to support their own learning. Now, of course, you can support the students, ELL, ESL students, because it can help you translate language, from different languages. Students can use it to tutor themselves. For example, anybody is in nursing program, allied health programs? Okay, so you know what NCLEX is, right? It's if you want to become a nurse, you have to pass that certificate exam, and that exam is kind of expensive. So you can use this prompt. I like to practice for the NCLEX exam. Please ask me some questions and help me check if my answers are correct. This is really effective prompts. Now, another one is students can use ChatGPT to help them recall the information. For example, they can ask, what is Bloom's taxonomy? ChatGPT will remind you what is this concept. And students can continue to ask, provide me an example of Bloom's taxonomy, evaluate. Then ChatGPT will provide you more information based on your interest. And this is another prompt to help students make connection. So for example, you are an expert tutor in some subject, right? And then come up with 3 creative analogies to explain another concept. And then using analogies drawn from certain contexts. Right? This can give you very specific information to help the students understand those complicated concepts again. Ask students to critique the analogies and identify strengths and weaknesses and blah, blah, blah. These are like follow-up exercise you can have students to do using ChatGPT. This is a really, really wonderful article that I encourage you to take a look, because they provide different kinds of like prompt pattern catalog to help you visualize how you can use ChatGPT in the classroom to support students to learn. So I'm just going to share with you a couple of patterns. This one is output automated patterns. So what it does is these types of prompts can help you minimize the time that you have to spend on tedious work, help you automate things. So for example, you want to generate like social media content because you want to launch a new product, right? So you are the user. So you can use ChatGPT and say that I'm launching a new line of eco-friendly kitchen products next month. I need to create a series of engaging social media posts, not just for Facebook. You want to post for LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter, all kinds of social medias. And you have to give the ChatGPT what's your expectation about the post, right? The post should highlight the eco-friendly aspect, introduce a new product, and encourage followers to visit our website, blah, 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 right? So ChatGPT is going to ask you some follow-up question, and then you can provide more detailed information. So it will generate the content for different, because different social media have, it has different kinds of way to promote your content. So it will show you create the post based on the social media channel that you choose. You can continue to say, all right, these are great, but can you help me plan a schedule for posting this on each platform? And ChatGPT will help you provide guidance. How often should you use Instagram to promote your product? How often should you use Facebook to promote your product? Now, this one is extremely interesting, the flipped interaction pattern, because now you're again asking ChatGPT to ask you question, not you ask ChatGPT question. So based on that NCLEX exam again, I would like you to ask me 10 questions to test if I could pass the NCLEX exam. Please ask me one question at a time to check if my answer is correct. All right. Before continuing to the next question, let's continue until I have answered at least 7 questions correctly. So when you ask that question, when you enter that prompt, ChatGPT is going to start give you the first question. A patient with chronic kidney disease is receiving dialysis and has a strict fluid restriction. Which nursing intervention is most appropriate to include in the patient's plan of care? Take a guess. That's you. You know the answer. 1, 2, 3. Which one do you want to choose? B? D. Okay, what's your answer? I don't know. Okay. That's explanation, right? Okay, let's move on to the next question. But you can change that prompt a little bit. This time, when I answer a question wrong, generate 3 additional questions that could help me learn this concept before you move on to the next question. So this is how you can turn ChatGPT into a tutor to help you, learn all those concepts, and it doesn't get tired. All right, just more prompt you can share with students. I'm not going to go over everything, but basically you can ask ChatGPT to break down the steps of photosynthesis. And again, these are all, you should provide those prompts to the students and guide them to use this and apply these tools and apply this to other subjects, other content. Few more, like design an experiment to test the effect of light intensity on plant growth. So they give you all of those research methodologies. Now, quickly, can I use ChatGPT, generative AI to write research papers? For those of you who are scholars doing research, yes or no? No. Be confident. No, all right? No, right. You gotta follow the journal's guidance. Right now, all those top journals, almost all of those journals have the guidance about whether you can use generative AI or not. Can I use ChatGPT to create images for journal articles? Yes? No. Yes? No. Follow the journal's guidance. But I mean, there are recent news about this, right? So I think there's a research study has an image with a mice, but the mice has a really weird like text behind the mice or something like that. You can tell it's generated by DALL-E, right? So the journal guidance, most of the journals have really clear guidance about how or whether you can use those ChatGPT generated images or not. Can I use generative AI to write grant proposals? Yes? Yes? No? Okay. Limited, right? So NSF, NIH, they all have guidance about the limits, the boundary that you can use generative AI. So please make sure you check it before you write those applications. Can I use generative AI to review grant proposal or paper as a reviewer? Yes? No. Why not? Right? Quickly, this is about privacy. when you want to review something, ask generative AI to review something, you have to upload the content, right? If you don't have the permission from the author, you are sharing the information to the database. Okay. Right. Can I use generative AI to brainstorm ideas? Yeah, we all finally we have a consensus. Yes, but just make sure the idea that is generated for you is accurate.
So it's all the reasons why AI literacy is so super important, right? What you can and cannot use it for and how to use it as a tool. So when thinking about an AI adoption guidance policy, right, what are some of the things that should be considered? So faculty should go over the generative AI policy in the syllabus and add a statement to use generative AI, right? This is some best practices added to adapt AI. So a syllabus template, this is something we're going to share with you in a few minutes because we have one here at Hostos. Faculty should discuss learning outcomes with students, right? What are the learning outcomes for the course? How do they tie in with AI literacy, right? This should all be a transparent discussion, right, as part of course. Assignments, like we talked about before, should be designed to develop students' presentation skills, teamwork, project-based learning, research skills, in-class assignments, relevance, right? So again, what are the assignments we're giving our students? How are we engaging with them in the material to recognize that we need to create opportunities for authentic and engaging learning, and to create a learning environment to encourage students to invest in learning. And both of these last points involve professional development, right? It's really important that we continue to have conversations about AI because it's going to be constantly shifting and changing, and how we can best work with our students in the classroom in the age of artificial intelligence. So syllabus guide, mentioned on the last slide, right? We convened a committee here at Hostos. I know we're on but we had a committee led by Professor Jackie DeSanto, who worked on a syllabus template. And the thing with the syllabus template is it's probably unlikely, we quickly decided here, that you're going to have one statement that the whole campus is going to agree on for AI, right? So we had 3 different versions of it, which can be found on our Center for Teaching and Learning website. And so we had this ad hoc committee and was presented to our students as an informational item, and it was reviewed by chairs. It went through a process. So we had 3 different templates. The first one was a syllabus statement on responsible use of AI, right? So this is the statement that faculty can, this is an option, this is a resource we've created for our faculty if they want to put it on their syllabi. Artificial intelligence presents both exciting opportunities and significant ethical considerations, and thus must adhere to a set of guidelines that align with our commitment to academic integrity and ethical practices. So you can use it, but it has to adhere to these practices, right? So this is a statement that lets students know you can use it, but use it responsibly. That's our first template. Second one is prohibited use of AI, right? So you have what artificial intelligence does, and then for these reasons, the use of generative AI tools such as, but not limited to, ChatGPT is prohibited on all assignments and assessments in this course, right? So this is a very transparent statement, again, that could go on some syllabi. If the professor says no for the content and subject matter of this course, AI is not appropriate, it's there on the syllabus. And then our third template is restricted use, right? If you have a course where you want students to be able to use it, but not for everything, right? That it has a place, but it's not banned, it's not completely accepted, but it has a specific place. So this statement says you may use AI in this course only when and how the instructor specifically allows it, right? And then there's this other, that's okay, never mind. Wasn't that important? There's this last part of it, that the core of your academic submissions must be authentically yours, crafted with your critical thought and reflective of context. So again, these are 3 different versions that are available on our CTL website as part of our syllabus template as a resource for faculty. If they want to put this on their syllabus, again, have that transparent conversation with students about the role of AI, which is going to become increasingly important.
So when you Google Hostos CTL syllabus, you'll get all those 3 different kinds of templates. And these are the references that we mentioned in this presentation. So if you, again, want these resources, you can just email to any one of us, so we can send you the slides, so you could have access to those information. And a few more references. All right, so Professor Ruth Lewis, any question? Comments? Have you learned anything new? Have you learned anything that you want to use in your classrooms?
I'm teaching chemistry, and I know some of the students try to use AI, but they still have a problem, especially for the references. How can you help the students by doing that?
Well, again, that's why it's really important that in the first session of your class, have a conversation with the students. Do you allow them to use it or not? So that's why these three different templates, that the languages of these three different guidance can help you navigate a conversation with your students. If you want to use it, this is how you use it. Make sure you include the references. Make sure you know that this part is generated by ChatGPT or generated AI. So I think you have to, that's why it's really important to have a conversation with them, let them know the expectation.
All I'm trying to say is that because this is the reference speaking system, and there's no connections. In the reference that they use is what you're writing. That's my question.
I think that has to do with
That's a research skill.
exactly, exactly. That's pretty much like a research skill. I think it's not necessary has to do with the tool that they use. It's just like they need to be trained on how to choose the appropriate research to back up their statement. And I think that part needs to be trained.
I think they also have to be aware that a lot of students are beginning at such a lower level and awareness that we still have to scaffold up from there. So when I use that for my freshman class, I basically show them real basic things, comparisons or whatever, and do simple prompts. And then at the very end, I have them make a prompt that will explain what your major is and where you are, a question of something you don't understand from one of your professors, and the concept you're just not getting in class, and ask it to explain it to you. And when after it's over, I said, "Do you get it now?" They're like, "Yes, I do." So now they buy into it like it's a tool that they can use to get better.
I think that's a great pedagogical practices to help students master this tool. This is a great example. Yes, please.
I wanted to continue the conversation of talking to the students and helping the students. I've had an experience of a professor who actually talks to the students in the first day of class, and they actually craft a statement for the class. So together they come up with these statements. We consider so we are going to use generative AI and not the other. So
I think that's another wonderful pedagogical practices. And again, these three are just recommendations. The faculty can use it whatever, if they want to adopt that kind of practice, we encourage them to do it. Yes.
Yeah, for myself with my own classes, I usually have a lot of writing assignments, which I understand could be a dangerous trap for ChatGPT for the students. But I always try to tie it in some way, somehow to their life, where I ask them to explain how that concept that they're writing about connects to their life or to the real world. And I recognize that wouldn't work for all disciplines, but I think that's something that's kind of helpful to consider because we really want our students to be making connections with the real world and their own life with what we're teaching anyway. And ChatGPT isn't going to be able to give that to them. So I feel like wherever you can work that into an assignment or an assessment, that's gonna reduce the likelihood of a student just completely leaning on AI to do all the work for them because they'll recognize they have to provide some of that content themselves.
And I think also with the writing, before scaffolding is so incredibly important, right? Those multiple opportunities for feedback, right? So the students have a way to connect themselves to the writing, but then also that there's that conversation between the student and the faculty about their writing. It's much harder to just, throw something that's been generated when you have to actually talk about it and get feedback on it, advice. Yep.
Yes.
Question about assessments. Have you in any way changed the assessment? Now that students are using ChatGPT to answer every question.
I think it's also down to the faculty's level, especially if they decided they want to adopt it, then they have to work with the students, help them understand the expectation, how the faculty is going to assess the learning outcome. So I think right now, academic affair, we don't really manage that process, but that is a conversation the faculty needs to have with the students.
I think we have time for one more question.
One more question.
Just really quick, do you have a general sense of the breakdown of your faculty, of those three examples that you gave, of how they either accept or don't accept or sort of halfway accept?
Well, we just implement this new template this fall. This is fall spring. This is spring. The spring. So we are assessing, but hopefully next semester we can give you, report, a report about how faculty use it.
Thank you, everyone, for attending this showcase. I hope you learned something, and we are going to start the next one.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
They got a whole room full, nice job.
I'm up. What?
Are you the next presenter?
Yeah.
Right. Let me swap this out real fast.
Awesome, I appreciate it.